Greetings, dear people of God at Trinity. Thank you for joining me for yet another weekly reflection. Some of you have heard me talk about my beloved Celtic spiritual teacher, John Philip Newell. He's an author as well, and he has just released a timely and beautiful new book. This title, Sacred Earth, a Sacred Soul, goes to the root of the Celtic Christian faith, which honors both the sacredness of the earth and of the human soul. It celebrates the interconnectedness of all things. John Philip has long admired and sought to redeem the reputation of 4th to 5th century Celtic monk Pelagius on seminary hit lists of heretics. In fact, it was John Philip's reputation as a supporter of Pelagius, known as theological adversary to Augustine, which initially attracted me to him. In seminary, I couldn't understand why someone like Pelagius could be denounced as a heretic. He taught that it is not so much what you believe about Jesus that matters. The important thing is becoming compassionate like Jesus. And not only that, Pelagius says, when Jesus commands us to love our neighbors, he does not only mean our human neighbors. He means all of the animals and birds, insects and plants amongst whom we live. But how do we become compassionate? Pelagius says that the starting place is to see that all of life is grace. And it is through grace that we turn over and over and over again to right relationship with ourselves and with each other. John Philip reminds us of our calling to wake up to the sacred love that gave life to all that is, and to reflect, to radiate that love to others and to all of the earth. So I want to give you an example of reflecting, radiating that love to others. An example that was posted by a friend on Facebook this week. Here are portions of that post. Quote, I may have inadvertently started a revolution in a convenience store today. I stopped to grab a water, and on the way I saw a homeless man I know sitting in the shade with his bike beside him. He was red-faced and shaky. I asked him if he was okay, and he told me he was just resting. This guy's got the mind of a child, and I'm afraid he doesn't know he needs to stay extra hydrated when it's super hot outside. There were a bunch of people in line in front of me and only one cashier, so I grabbed 2 waters and yelled to the cashier that I was taking one to the guy outside and I'd be right back to pay. I'm a regular there. When I came back, the lady in front of me turned around, hands on hips, and told me that I was just enabling that homeless person, said with a sneer, and that I shouldn't be wasting my money on him. It's hot as hell in Florida right now, mid-90s with humidity around 80%. It's a good day for heat stroke, and I told her so. I said I'd rather give him water than call an ambulance. I was gonna shrug it off, let it go, chalk it up to ignorance and the heat making everybody cranky. And then she told me I should be ashamed of myself, that someone should call the police on him, and that it should be illegal to beg for money. That people who give the homeless money just encourage them to stay homeless, and that should be illegal too. Ashamed. I should be ashamed for giving some poor old guy water. By the way, it cost a whole $1. And I should get in trouble for making sure he didn't stroke out. I guess I look nice, approachable, like I wouldn't rip your head off. I am nice most of the time, but not always. I lost my temper. I told her to call a cop and report me for buying stuff at a convenience store. I told her that I wasn't in the damn mood for crazy right now. That it's 100 degrees outside and I'm hot and tired and sick to death of stupid people. that if she had an ounce of compassion in her whole body, she'd buy him a cold drink too. That maybe she should figure out why she needs to accost complete strangers, etc., etc. I'm just about deaf in one ear. I try to modulate my voice unless I get angry. It got pretty loud there at the end. There was dead silence in the store, and then someone said loudly, "For real." And the guy at the front of the line told the cashier to add a sandwich to his purchases for the guy outside. And the guy behind him bought an extra ice cream. The girl behind him change for a 20, because that guy could probably use some cash. Every single person in line got him something. Everyone except the now very embarrassed lady in front of me, who slunk out without saying another word. When I got to the cashier, she didn't charge me for either of the waters because she was going to take him one anyway, and mine was free because of the entertainment. When I went outside, he was eating his ice cream and drinking his water with a pile of stuff all around it and a big old grin on his face, and he didn't look shaky anymore. And there, people, is the story of why I hate people and why I love people, all in the same minute. I sat in the car and drank my water and laughed with tears in my eyes, same as I'm doing now. That woman who slunk away, I wondered what happened with her. You can always touch people. You can't always touch people, let alone change them. After all, Jesus said, there are times when you shake off the dust. But who knows? Perhaps a seed just might have been planted in her. What's that saying? Kill them with kindness? Actually, I think that's also called loving your enemies, or loving your neighbor, even nasty ones or homeless ones, as yourself. Come on, people. Come on, Franny. Let's do some more loving. Loving of ourselves, and loving of our neighbor. Amen.